Hello students, welcome to the channel. This is Anamika Talukdar and I'm back after 1 week with another part of Geography, Physical Features of India Lesson 2. And yes, I'm late and I'm not able to make regular videos as I'm a little bit busy, but I'll try to make and complete this lesson as soon as possible. And yes, hope you all are fine. And today, on this auspicious occasion of Teachers' Day, I want to wish all my teachers and also all the teachers of the world and also to me a very happy Teachers' Day. So we should respect our teachers every day, always, because they are only the people after our parents who guides us throughout our life, academic and also the other part aspects of our life. So we should respect them. So let's start the session of today without wasting much of the time. So today topic will be Northern Plain, and yes, the way I try to explain you, I wrote all the important points of Northern Plain. So go through it and you can read for your exams only this point. Everything will be coming only from these points. These are the very important one, and if you go through all of these points, the part of Northern Plain is completely done. So go through it properly, and if you have any doubt, then you can ask me in the comment section. Thank you. Okay, so here I have made a rough sketch for you so that you can understand where Northern Plain lies. You know, here we have Himalaya. In my last video also I explained you about Himalaya's formation and also the description of Himalaya. So Himalayan mountains, when this was formed, then this area also got uplifted. And when this area got uplifted here, then this was the formation of Himalaya. But this became what? This area became a basin. Now when it became a basin, then from this higher area to this lower area, the water which were coming down from the upper to the lower, this was depositing as this was the basin. So obviously the water was coming from higher to the lower area. So as this was a basin, so here all the sediments were deposited, and slowly it got filled and became a plain area, and this is the today's Northern Plain. The Northern Plain, from here if we see, the area is bigger and here it is lesser, it is thinner from this to this side. So here the width is more and here it is less, and the length of Northern Plain is 2400 kilometer. And the width of the Northern Plain I have already written from 240 to 320. Here it is more and here it is less. Now how Northern Plain is formed, I already explained you that the water which was coming from the upper area to the lower area, it was depositing all the sediments here, and then it was the formation of Northern Plain. But which were the main rivers? Those were depositing sediments from this to this. These main rivers were, you can see this point, the Indus, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra. So these are the main rivers of Himalayan mountains, and these are also the rivers. Because of this river, the interplay of these three major rivers, the Northern Plain was formed. This was formed. I think the first point is clear. Go through the points. These will only be coming in the examination. If you go through this note and read it properly, then these are done. You don't have to study extra for that. This will be enough for it. Now this deposition, as the sediments were deposited in this area, so it became fertile area. It became a fertile plain. So all the alluvium were deposited. I have written here, you can see the deposition of alluvium in a vast basin. This was a vast basin at the foothills. Why it is foothills? Because it is below the Himalaya. So here from this side it is the foothills of Himalaya. From here only Northern Plain started. So here on the foothills of Himalaya, when over the million of years ago the alluvium soil, alluvium deposits were deposited in the basin, then it was a formation of the fertile plain. So that's why it is the most fertile, the most productive part of India, and also the fertile plain which we have in India. Now if we see the area of Northern Plain is 7 lakh square kilometer. This you have to memorize it. Then length I already said, that is 2400, and wheat is 240 to 320. Now I already said that northern plain is agriculturally most productive part of India. Why? Now it may come here, a question arises that northern plain is the most agriculturally productive part of India. Why? There are three reasons. That is the fertile soil. Soil is fertile and so agriculture is also good. When soil is good, agriculture is also good. And there is adequate water supply because it gets water from Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra. I already told you that this is the interplay of three major rivers and that is the formation of northern plain. So it gets water from all the three rivers. So there is no scarcity of water. Adequate water supply is very much needed for a good agriculture. And the climate is also favorable. The climate which is needed for growing agriculture, this climate is present in the northern plain. So northern plain is said as agriculturally most productive part of India. These are three reasons why we can say this is a most productive part of India. So this question also, all the points which I have actually made, these are one question you can think and you can go through for your exam. Then the other points which we have, that is how northern plain is divided. According to the areas, northern plain is also divided into different from one region to another. So this is also one of the question. Now northern plain is broadly divided into three sections. It may come. So how northern plain is divided into three sections? First one is Punjab plain, second one is Ganga plain and third one is Brahmaputra plain. So if you see in the map how it is spreading. So this part will be the Punjab plain, then the middle part will be the Ganga plain and rest of the part after this, actually this is not proper, after this it is Brahmaputra plain. So Punjab plain, Ganga plain, and this is a rough sketch, try to understand it. This part, here we have Punjab, so this is Punjab plain, here we have Ganga, so Ganga plain, and here we have Brahmaputra, so Brahmaputra plain. So these are the three sections according to region. That means from region to region northern plain is divided. I hope it's clear to you. Now I'm going to explain you in a proper way. So here western part is known as Punjab plain, and yes, one more important thing, that Punjab plain lies more in Pakistan because the Indus and its tributary form it, and we know Indus, the larger part of it, in Indus origin is from Himalaya, but the larger part of Indus is received by the country Pakistan, and so Punjab plain is formed by Pakistan and tributaries, so a larger part of it, that means from Punjab plain a larger part of it lies in Pakistan and a little part of it lies in India. Now second point, that is middle part. I told you that is Ganga plain. Now it is extend between the rivers Ghaggar and Tista rivers. Tista rivers I also explained you in the description of Himalaya. So Ghaggar and Tista river, between that the area which is present, that is the middle area of northern plain, the middle area, that is the Ganga plain. And it is formed by Ganga and its tributaries. The last one is, that is eastern part. Eastern part, the last part which I said about Brahmaputra. So this is known as Brahmaputra plain, and that is in Assam. That is not a big area from northern plain, but a small area, but it lies in the part of Brahmaputra. Now next, this is about the area from region to region. I said the division, that is Punjab plain, Ganga plain and Brahmaputra plain. But northern plain is also divided according to its relief features. Relief features meaning is from higher to lower, from, or we can say longitudinal extent. That means from this to this. I explained you from this to this. These are regions to region. That is, one region is Punjab. It also lies in Pakistan. It also lies here. This is Ganga plain and here we have Brahmaputra plain. But if I say you now, from this upper area to the lower area, it is divided into 4 sections, again 4 regions. Now let's see that what are these. First one is Bhabar, that after the river it deposits the sediments from the mountains at first it deposits pebbles. In narrow belt, it's a narrow belt, it deposits pebbles and it lies from 8 to 16 kilometer. It is spreading from 8 to 16 kilometer, and this is known as Bhabar. Here deposition of pebble is done, and after that, that means in this part of the relief part, in this part of northern plain, streams disappear. But these streams again appear from the south of this part. That means from north, when it comes here, for example, if this part is on the foothills of Himalaya, so it's starting from here. So if it ends here, then from here when it comes, then it deposits pebbles. Streams disappear in this section. But when it comes below, then here again, in the south of this region, streams again appear. So when the streams appear, then we can go to the next relief belt. That is the next part of the northern plain, that is the south of this belt, south of the Bhabar. First one, what did I say? That is Bhabar. I already wrote the name, that is Bhabar. After the Bhabar, south of this Bhabar, there is another belt where streams and rivers re-emerge. So you can think, when streams and rivers are present, that means this area will be wet, muddy area, swampy area, wet, muddy area, because there is the presence of water, and this area is known as terai. Now when there is the presence of water and this is wet area, then we can think that the area will be forested area, or the area will be having wildlife and also vegetation cover will be good. So terai is also an area where vegetation cover and wildlife is good. It was thickly forested region. Once there was one time when it was forested, that means it was thickly forested region. But when there was partition, and when the migrants from Pakistan, they came in India, so they settled here in this region, and so the forests were cleared. Now after this region, when we go again lower of northern plain, then we will get another region, that is Bhangar, another belt, and it is made of older alluvium. Older alluvium, that is older alluvium is present in the part of Bhangar, and when this ends, that means this belt is going to end, then after that we will be getting floodplain. That means this area lies above the floodplain, so there is no flood in this area as it lies above the floodplain. Now as I said that it lies above the floodplain, means next will be the area, the plain where there will be flood. Now when this is a floodplain, that means when this is a floodplain, flood comes almost every year, and when the flood comes, then every year because of the flood, the soil is renewed. When the soil is renewed, then it makes it fertile, and this area is known as Khadar. So I have explained you 4 belts, that means 4 longitudinal division of northern plain, which are Bhabar, then Terai, then Bhangar, and the Khadar. So these are the important points of northern plain. If you go through all of this plain, the northern plain is done and completed. You don't have to read any extra for class 9. So I have tried to explain whatever is needed for your exam, also for this class. So if you understand the session, then give it a like, and if you have any query, you can ask me in the comment section. So for today, thank you very much.